Hi, so we're going to be talking through the electric guitar parts for Mighty Cross, and this is Guitar 1, because Guitar 2 does switch from acoustic to electric halfway through the song. So this is the Guitar 1 parts, and the song is pretty simple in that there's only 4 chords. You're going to be voicing them slightly different just depending on the section of the song that you're in. So I'll teach you both voicings, and then we'll kind of just talk through the different sections of the song. The first, and these are all on your guitar notes sheet, but the first, sometimes you'll be voicing the chords as kind of higher partials, and this will happen in the turns and in verses 3 and 4, I think, and in the very last chorus, because at that point, Guitar 2 will be in with the big beefier bar chords, so you're going to be up on higher partials, so that you're not playing the same thing, you're spreading out and covering different sonic territory. So your higher partials are going to be up here. Here's your G. And that's 9, 7, 8, and 7. And I just leave my first finger barred there for most of these chords. Slide it up for the C, but I just keep a bar on there for all these partials. Makes it easier. And then your C. Like I said, I just keep my first finger barred. On the 7, I just slide it up to 8, and then catch 10 and 9, just like that. And then D, slide it back to a full bar on 7, not full bar, 4-string bar on 7, and catch 10 with your pinky, just like that. So the turn sounds something like this. Not like that. Something like that. Sorry for the sloppy chords, it's late. And then, the E minor, that's right, you'll also be playing the E minor in the verses 3 and 4 sometimes on these higher chord partials. So if you are just keeping your finger kind of barred on the 7th fret for most of these, then it doesn't need to be barred for this chord, but again, it just makes it easier to always kind of keep it barred there. Your E minor is there. There. 9, 9, 8, and 7. So it's very much like the G, but you add your 4th finger. There. So a verse would sound something like this. Now the day of resurrection floods the night as hope prevails to shine. And we something like that. Most of the time when you're playing those partials, you're just going to be kind of strumming the changes or swelling. And then in the bridge and the second chorus, you're going to be playing full bars. Like I said, you're going to start with the high partials, switch to the bars, and then you'll switch back to the partials once Guitar 2 is in. So, bar chords, you already know these, but I will show you them anyway. So G, it's a bar on 3, and then 5, 5, and 4. C, again, bar on 3, and then 5, 5, 5. D is C just moved up 2 frets. And then E minor is up again 2 frets, bar on 7, and then make an A minor shape with your hands on 9, 9, and 8. Just like that. So the bridge, for instance, you'll use these chords in the bridge. The bridge would sound something like this. those are your big bar chords. So let's start at the top and just kind of talk through. Oh, there's one other thing that you might need to end up playing, and that is in verse 4. In the first half, there's this line. In the recording, it is a keys line. I don't remember if it's a piano. I think it's a piano patch. It doesn't matter. You'll hear it in the recording. It's a line that's very clearly there and very clearly covered by the keys. I think that our keys players are going to cover that line. But if they don't, someone has to, because it's pretty important. So if they do not cover that line, then you will cover that line. And it just goes like this. Just a little tiny bar on 7, and a little hammer on an 8. And don't follow my example. Pull back your delay a little bit so it doesn't get so messy. So that's the only other thing you might need to cover. Let me talk you through the parts really quick so that you know kind of when you're playing which type of chord. So for the intro in verse 1, you are out completely. For the turn after verse 1 and verse 2, you can choose to either stay out or you can do a little bit of texture work. If you're good at like shimmers or something like that, you can do that kind of stuff. Or swells are easiest and they're kind of the most subtle, so it's really hard to screw them up and hard to step on anybody else's toes while you're doing them. These are optional, you don't have to do them, but you can. That would be... that kind of thing. Some just kind of warm and subtle. So on his brow the crown of sorrows, for the one whose weakness was our strength. Something kind of similar to that. You just kind of strike the chord and then swell in and then swell back and swell back in the next chord. Nice and subtle. So intro verse 1 you're out, turn and verse 2 you can choose to be out or you can choose to do some swells. The first chorus you'll be out completely. The turn after that chorus and verse 3 you'll be playing those kind of upper partials and just kind of strumming on the changes only. And then the first chorus you're out. The second chorus is when you'll make that switch to bar chords. And again, you're still just going to be changes only, but you'll be on bar chords this time. So instead of those higher partials, oh, the cross of Jesus Christ, that kind of thing. Probably different. You'll probably want to kick on your overdrive or something at that point, but just changes only on those chords for chorus 2. During the bridge, you can play full bars and just kind of start strumming into it, really get into it. I already demonstrated that part, so I'm not going to demonstrate it again. During the turn after the bridge, just do changes only, just like you've done pretty much every other turn up to this point, or you can kind of pick those a little bit and make some arpeggios. That would be fine at that point. It's kind of up to you and what you kind of feel out in full band. Verse 4, you'll be out unless the keys are not covering that little motion line in the first half, and then you can cover that line, that little do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. When you hear the full band come in for a build, you'll still be up on those higher partials, and you can start to kind of just build in on those up into the final chorus where you'll just kind of strum full out. That's the really high energy part of the song, but instead of being, you're not going to be down on low beefy chords, you're going to be up on the high partials because guitar 2 is going to be in on low beefy chords, and that will carry you straight through the tag because the tag stays high energy just like the chorus. So if you're keeping track, you are on the higher partials all the way through to chorus 2. Chorus 2 is where you switch to the bar chords, and you'll be on bar chords for the chorus and the bridge, and then immediately after the bridge you'll go back to the partials. Pretty simple.